ABS-CBN Sports proudly presents Resolve.
It's a rotation, but this time, Ulan challenging the blockers and making it better.
Composure. Control.
From the other side. Passes again. And that. The Lady Falcons in control so far of set number 2.
Confidence.
This is what 200 to say. Yeah. Check ball. Will they go 5 straight? That's big. Closes the set.
Perseverance.
Solo block. Focus naman ngayon. Roll. Set.
Oh, and Santiago still gets the line.
Grace.
Manta. Off to Baniel Walk. And we're tied to Pineda.
Resilience.
Oh! Nobody home for Anderson! And as it is, Iuno si Valdez, malapit sa net. Kuha pa rin.
Tenacity.
Again!
This is the UAAP Season 76 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Greatness never ends.
And we are here at the heart of Pasay City at the Mall of Asia Arena as we shift our attention to the second game of our Saturday doubleheader. Earlier today, FEU winning in 4 sets against the UE Lady Warriors. We get to that second game as the Adamson Lady Falcons need to win here to keep in step with FEU, who won earlier today. And they go up against the DLSU Lady Spikers, who continue to roll after an 8-0 start for season 76 and looking for more wins. 25 actually is what they're looking for right now coming into this matchup here in the second game. Boone Gonzalez alongside Ivy Remulla for ABS-CBN Sports. And action very essential this game, and we are of course flanked by Mitch Del Carmen and Ina Ongsiaco. They will report for Adamson University and LaSalle respectively. Ivy, it's good to see you again. And as I said, very essential game for Adamson to keep in step with FEU. But how about LaSalle? 7 teams have tried already.
That's right.
Ateneo has tried twice. Pero wala pa rin.
Wala pa rin. So LaSalle is going very strong here in this season, and I think Adamson is very much trying to get, maybe this is their chance today, and see if they can break that winning streak of LaSalle. They have been having a good past few games already, Adamson. So maybe today can be the day.
That's why the game is played. You know? We can't assume that somebody's gonna win. There are good days, there are bad days. Let's see who will come out with a good day today here in the second game of our Saturday doubleheader. And as you see, LaSalle still unbeaten, and not only that, they have been dominant. Their focus has been laser-like. They have not dropped a set, Ivy.
That's
as
right.
we look at these two teams there.
It has been a perfect season so far for the Lady Spikers of Taft. And we can see their Adamson there with 4 wins and 4 losses.
Yep.
And they would try to get win number 5 today, as we have mentioned. But it is going to be a very hard chore for the Lady Falcons with the way that the Lady Spikers have been playing in their past few games as well.
That, if you see the team standings, Ivy, that 2-6, yun yung labanan. Mabigat yung labanan from National U at 2, and then of course UST at 6, and then in the middle, of course, Sheila Pineda and the rest of the Adamson Lady Falcons with FEU winning earlier today. They actually opened season 76 for us, you know, and it was here at the Mall of Asia Arena when, or actually we were at the Araneta Coliseum, if I'm not mistaken, for opening day of season 76 of the UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament. And as we said, LaSalle started off strong, did not drop a set in that first game.
It was a very convincing win actually there for LaSalle in that very first opening game. Although it was a tight second set, Boom, if you would remember. You know, Adamson almost had it just 3 points away from closing that set. But the resilience of the Lady Spikers really prevailed, and it ended up in only a 3-set match.
Only a 3-set match and only an hour and 15 minutes. That is what it took for LaSalle to dispatch Adamson in the very first encounter of Season 76.
And there we could see the reason why LaSalle took it very easy in 3 sets only. LaSalle clearly dominated in the attacking and the blocking, and I think that really did the job for the Lady Spikers. It has been the blocking was very consistent for that game.
There have been changes in terms of who's second and third best in terms of blocking, but it has been constant in terms of who has been number one. LaSalle has been dominant in that department. All right, let's go and shift our attention to Adamson University. They lost 2 heartbreaking matches, and they were able to finally snap that one against UP the last time out. They break their 2-game losing streak, and 2 very tough games also for them against National U and then FEU. But they bounced back in against UP rather, and they hope to keep it rolling against LaSalle.
That's right. It was actually a very motivating part for the Lady Falcons, having won their last game, and it was also a very convincing win in 3 sets. The scores also were very. It became very difficult for UP actually to catch up on those 3 sets.
At kailangan nila yung panalo na yun, talking about Adamson University. As we said, heartbreaking losses 2 previous times. And you know, sometimes you can propel yourself to better games after 1 win. And this was what happened in that game. 25-9, a very dominant second set for Adamson.
That's right, and they really killed it off with their attacks. 43 spikes only against 20 of UP. That's actually more than half. You know, and they scored also very well in terms of their blocking and in service. A very consistent game for the Lady Falcons when they went up against UP.
That's right. UP usually a better blocking team than what they usually show, or what they showed in that game against Adamson. But the tandem of Bebs Pineda and Amanda Villanueva, they were on fire. And it's very crucial for Adamson University to get more contributions other than Sheila Pineda. She's going to be the most consistent player. She's going to be the barometer of Adamson University, but it's important that she gets help, and Amanda Villanueva has come on strong. The number 3 and number 6 scorers of the league, talking about Sheila and Amanda.
That's right, and you know, it's already probably a given that Adamson will be going to Bang Pineda, and that game with Amanda Villanueva did really step up. You know, she's one of the secret factors for also the Lady Falcons in winning in their game.
You're looking at the numbers against UP, but going back to the LaSalle game, Amanda Villanueva had 15 points. Sheila Pineda had 10. So really, sila yung aasahan dito. And maybe somebody else, hopefully, for Adamson to try to beat LaSalle. All right, our very own Mitch Del Carmen sat down with Amanda Villanueva. Let's listen to that interview.
Mans, natapos na nga yung 2-game losing streak natin nung pagpasok natin ng second round. So, sa palagay mo, paano natin masusustain yung ganitong klaseng panalo, lalo na kalaban natin ngayon yung number 1 team?
Siguro mindset lang na every game we need to win kasi we started second round with 2 wins. So, bakit hindi na namin ituloy-tuloy yung wins para pumasok kami sa Final Four, which is yung first goal namin.
Ngayon, para sa inyo, gaano ka-importante ang teamwork para sa Lady Falcons?
Importante siya kasi yun yung parang pinaka-importanting recipe ng team para manalo. And also, yung tiwala namin sa isa't isa, doon nagsisimula yan para manalo. Para i-boost namin yung isa't isa.
Okay, good luck sa game nyo today, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Mitch. 14 points for Amanda Villanueva against UP, and then 15 against LaSalle. She has started for Adamson University this year as compared to last year, where she was being introduced off the bench. She will be crucial. The rest of the team is going to have to pull together to go up against the defending champions, 8-0. They ended the first round with a win against Ateneo. They start the second round with another convincing win against Ateneo in 1 hour and 5 minutes.
It's getting shorter and shorter, boom.
1 hour and 5 minutes, 3-set domination by the defending champions.
So this was actually one of the most awaited games or match for this season, and I'm sure that a lot of the Lady Spikers fans were very happy with the turnout of this game. So it was also a 3-set win, and it was quite difficult for Ateneo also, you know, to counter the attacks and the offense of LaSalle during that game.
Right. And when you talk about that game, the numbers won't lie. And again, the ability of LaSalle to contain Eliza Valdez. Eliza Valdez cannot get anything going in the two games that they met. This one, the last one, as you talked about. And look at the scores, 25-14, 25-14, and 25-19.
I agree with you, Boom. And it seems that, LaSalle has really been preparing very well for all the opponents for each game. They're treating each game as a different one from the previous ones. I guess it's one of the formulas also why LaSalle has been very effective here in this season.
Yeah, they maintain the kind of game no matter who the opponent is. And I think that all starts and ends with that girl, Abby Maraño. They've got so many weapons. You talk about, even the rookie, Desiree Check. You've got a great setter in Kim Fajardo. They've got Mika Reyes, they've got Aragalang. But it all starts from Abigail Maraño's ability to really lead this team.
I agree with you, Boom. Leadership is very, very essential. If a winning team or a champion team, that's one of the characteristics that it has. It has a good leader.
And that's a perfect also statement about Abby. The fact that she's an all-around player, and the numbers don't lie.
That's right. And you can see really that how much she has been contributing, not just her leadership inside the court, but also in terms of points for the Lady Spikers. She has actually averaged 9.7 points per game, 6.6 spikes per game, and at least 2 blocks per game. So that is actually a very good average for a particular player.
We talk about the numbers in terms of points. She doesn't really... LaSalle doesn't have anybody dominant, except for there are certain games where Aragalang is dominant. She had 16 against Adamson the first meeting. But their points are so spread out. They're so well distributed. And again, hats off to Coach Romil De Jesus. All right, let's pick the brain of their leader, Abby Maraño. And Ina Ongshak had the opportunity to do that for us.
So Abby, with your winning streak na you haven't lost a game nor a set, is there any pressure na kailangan yung manalo every game and every set?
Well, sa tingin ko, yung maglalaro ka ng with pressure is not a bad thing. And I think yung pressure na you need to see that the pressure is a good pressure for your drive to strive more and to keep going and doing so much more. Yun yung pressure na meron kami. And kung paano nako-control yun, nasa tao din yun eh. Kung i-turn mo into motivation yung pressure na yun, hindi magiging pangat sa sarili mo yung paglalaro mo with pressure.
Now, how do you help your teammates motivate or turn this pressure into motivation, especially for those na hindi ganon yung pag-iisip nila sa pressure nito?
Of course, yung start ng game, medyo meron dyan talaga kinakabahan pa. Pero maganda yung pinapakita ko sa kanila na talagang sa mukha ko, hindi makikita yung pressure na yun. And of course, kung palaban ako, nasa mata nila, ganun din sila, magiging palaban din sila.
Thank you, Abby, and good luck with today's game. Back to you, Boom and Ivy.
Well, credit goes out to her and the coaching staff, of course. They're running out of challenges here. I know it's still a long season, Ivy, but they have been so dominant, like a well-oiled machine. Like I said, they're nearly a perfect team as we speak right now.
I do have to agree, and after very well spoken also by the team captain, and no wonder the team is performing this well.
That's right. LaSalle will go for its 9th straight win this season, 25 overall since last, and they go up against Adamson University, who's trying to stay within striking distance for Final Four.
This is the UAAP Season 76 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Greatness never ends. This is the UAAP Season 76 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Greatness never ends.
National referee. Now for the starting lineup of the Adamson Lady Falcons. Number 1, Sheila Marie Pineda. Number 4, Eileen Paat. Number 5, May Zapanda. Number 6, Amanda Villanueva. Number 9, Faye Janelle Guevara. Number 14, Jennifer Macatuno. Their libero, number 7, Jelly Tempiatura. Their head coach, Coach Sherwin Meneses. Introducing the starting lineup of the DLSU Lady Spikers. Number 3, Mika Irene Reyes. Number 6, Desiree Chang. Number 8, Victonara Gala. Number 9, Kim Fajardo. Number 18, Sid Daily Demecilio. Their team captain, number 2, Abigail Maraño. Their libero, number 15, Shan Marie Ariel Cruz. Their head coach, Coach Ramil De Jesus. Good luck to both teams.
Here we go, Coach Ramil. We talked about his winning percentage. I'll talk more about his numbers later on. Coach Sherwin. That's the guy he's up against from Adamson University, the starting 6 for both teams. I was talking about earlier, Ivy, a team like LaSalle right now at 8-0. Of course, the biggest challenge is to maintain the level of play that they're playing at right now, because it's at such a high level. And right now, most pundits will say there's LaSalle and there's everybody else. But it's also tough to maintain that kind of level. That's up to Coach Ramil, that's up to Abby also. Now, us, we like to look at numbers and stats. And I asked for some help in terms of whether a LaSalle team has gone through a season without dropping a set. Because they've swept the season already, if I'm not mistaken, twice.
Yes.
2 years ago, and in season 67 also, where there wasn't no step ladder pa. Kasi 2 years ago may step ladder na, so thrice to beat ka in the finals. Diba? Ateneo won the first and then lost eventually. But they haven't gone through a season where they haven't dropped a set.
So that is actually very, you know, they're already there at the top.
Right.
So you really,
Right.
it's
Isn't
really
it fun to think about that?
right. A lot of pressure actually for the whole team, for Coach Ramil, you know, being able to live up to
Yes.
where they have reached or what they have reached at this point.
I know they're not thinking about that yet, unless, you know, the media really points it out. Maybe towards the end of, let's say, the elimination. But of course, we're jumping the gun. I'm sure in the minds of LaSalle, because they're such a dominant champion, they're taking this a set at a time.
That's right.
A game at a time.
That's right. You know, one good mindset of a winning team is you're not looking at the numbers.
Right.
You're not looking at how far you've gone or where you are right now, but you're just taking things how it is at the moment. What you need to do, take one step at a time for each game. You know, like I mentioned earlier, one good thing about LaSalle is that they really try to learn and study about their opponent. So the strategy for this game may not be the same for the next game.
And they rarely play to the level of their opponent. Ikaw yung dapat sasabay sa kanila.
Right.
If you want to have a chance, and in all honesty, wala bang nakakasabay sa kanila. Yun ang totoo. Let's go to Ina Ongsiaco for more from the LaSalle side.
Boom and Ivy, before the season even started, I asked Coach Ramil De Jesus what his goal was for this year, and he said it was for his team to improve on a game-to-game basis. Now, last Sunday, he added one more goal to this list, and that is for every player in his team to develop more self-confidence. He says that during practices, everyone in the team always does very well, even the second stringers. Pero pagdating sa game, parang nawawala lahat ng mga pinaghirapan nila. That is why he urges everyone in the team to always be ready, both physically and mentally, as he will try to field in everyone, especially those who haven't received much playing time yet, as an avenue for them to build that self-confidence in their skills. Boom and Ivy.
Thank you very much. And throughout that Ina Ongsiaco report, LaSalle had a chance there to drop the ball a couple of times, but they did not give up on the play, and they ended up with the point. serving one on an Amanda Villanueva hitting error.
Serving for the Lady Spikers.
Ayun na nga, even when you go back to Ina's report, Ivy, you see Coach Ramil now looking for other challenges.
Right.
Not to say that you're not trying to win. Of course they're trying to win. But now it's about improvement of everybody now.
Well, there is always room for improvement. Right. You know, even with a team that has not lost a single set, there is still room for improvement.
And that's his trademark, di ba? Si Coach Ramil. Kahit nagpapapanalo, hindi pa masaya yan.
That's right.
Hanggang tapos ang ating season. Right now, like we say, you made the point that the players don't think about that. It's, you know, taking a point at a time and talking about a game at a time. Trabaho ng media yun, eh, no? Yung mga, hindi pa sila natatalo. Wala pa silang nadadrop na set. Because those are just angles that we would like to check out on every now and then. And another point going to La Salle as we check in with Mitch Del Carmen.
Well, Women Ivy, consistency will be the main challenge for the Lady Falcons as Coach Sherwin Menendez believes that the girls have already claimed their high presence of mind and their excellent teamwork. Now, when I asked him earlier, asking how they will strategically sustain this kind of performance for today, he simply responded by sharing me 3 important recipes that they will need. Those of which are their relaxed service receives, consistent coverage, and their confidence in every spike. Dagdag niya nga na basta ma-apply lang nila ang kanilang tinatrain at magtulong-tulong sila, dadating din ang magandang performance ng team. Boom and Ivy.
Maraming salamat, Mitch. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung Adamson University at 4-4. Couple of games that they could have won, but lost. But that's how. That's why you play the game. And now, the chase is on between them and FEU. Then, of course, they're hoping that Ateneo drops a few games also para mapaganda yung positioning nila. And it's especially crucial, Ivy, because if La Salle plans to sweep the elimination round, your placement is going to be very crucial.
That's right. And but of course, syempre, as a team, yun yung the last thing that you would want. You're trying to umaasa ka doon sa standing ng iba, because that's really going to be very difficult. So at this point, I think Adamson really is aiming to win as much games, all the remaining games as they can.
Sometimes lang, as you know, Ivy, you've played, when you look back at a season, you know that there were, like, let's say, 1 or 2 games that could have changed the course of your team throughout the season. But that's all water under the bridge, as they say. It's 8-1 for DLSU right now. We are back and we are here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Today, Saturday, as La Salle is ahead 8-1 against Adamson University here in game number 1. Make that game number 2 rather of our Saturday doubleheader. At ito pa yung yan ay sinasabi mo, Ivy, looking down the road for Adamson University.
That's right. It's actually not going to be a very easy road for Adamson, you know. But they really have to make sure that they win as much as they can, just so they can secure themselves, of course, in that Final Four spot.
5 more opponents, 4 out of the 5 are going to be crazy games.
I would agree with you, you know.
No disrespect to UE, but we're only saying that from a team standpoint. UE has not won a game. They have improved, though, in the way they have played. UE, they have won a couple of sets the last couple of games.
With UE, as the season progresses, their game gets better. You know, that's one thing I've noticed about the team.
Parang mas nagiging solid sila. They're taking a set here and there from other teams. And earlier today, pinahirapan na naman ang FU. But other than that, 50-50 na lahat yung 5 laro na yung Adamson na yan. Kasi sabihin na natin, against UE, as we look at this point, Adamson has, let's say, a good 80% chance of winning that in terms of odds. But against the 5 other teams, it's a 50-50 game. Which is good for us.
That's right, of course. But, you know, it makes it more exciting, a lot of more exciting volleyball for all the fans to look out for. Yun yung maganda, yung hindi kasi sigurado kung sino yung mananalo.
At yun dapat yung panoorin ng live sa mga susunod na laban po. Kung hindi nyo mapapanood dito sa ABS-CBN Sports in Action, it'd be nice to see you at the venues. In the meantime, play a ball. Etong bola, Demesilio down the line. Amanda Villanueva sends it over. 9-2 is the score. Sid goes for it again. Makatulong. Villanueva. Set back.
Blocked by Maranyo. That was good timing from Abby.
Betadine block of the set. Betadine 7.5% feminine wash. For red days, it's better to be protected. And you know, those things, hindi yan aksidente, binabasa yan ng coaching staff. They come up with a game plan. They know tendencies of players already. Desiree finds
outside.
Tries to find the line,
Point Adamson.
long on that one. It's unfortunate right now for Adamson. They're scoring from LaSalle errors. They're not creating points for themselves.
As you can see, actually, LaSalle is not doing anything special.
Not
You know,
yet.
they're not really doing anything fancy at this point.
That's why yun yung sinasabi ko parang that is the challenge now for LaSalle, to keep that level going all the way till the finals when they get there eventually, or if they get there. Which obviously they have a good chance of getting.
LaSalle once again playing smart. That's it. Demesilio with a drop shot.
Mitsubishi Mirage G4, great play. Mitsubishi Mirage G4, expect more from the small sedan. So imagine this, Ivy. If they win this year, so that's a 4-peat. That's
right,
never been done sa kanila, no? And then if they are able to not drop a set in the elimination round,
it's another record.
Wow.
That's going to be pretty hard to beat. You know, the next generation for LaSalle players, a lot of pressure for those younger ones.
Kim Fajardo with a fine there. 23 excellent sets in the last match against Ateneo. Sorry, against Ateneo, she had 20 excellent sets. Against Adamson in the first round, she had 23. What a number for that girl, Kim
Ano yung
Fajardo.
drop ball? Loose ball na yung bola eh. Super block ka dyan eh. Malabas ba? Oh. Loose ball, bola. Hindi lumabas ka na. Siya na magbablock. O pwede, hindi na magblock kung buka. Kaya yun yung magsigalaw sa depensa eh. Nakakadepensa tayo. Isa, dalawa. Hindi naman malalakas yung palo eh. Kaya natin depensahan eh.
The perfect start for DLSU right now, Ivy. 12-3.
It is a very comfortable lead for the Lady Spikers. You know, and as we said, they're not really doing anything spectacular, you know, and Adamson has actually scored off the errors of LaSalle.
And they've been so good this year, talking about LaSalle, that they, even in terms of the plays, Ivy, they don't really complicate it too much. They're not a lot of combination plays, but they're perfectly executed, simple plays. And then, of course, the blocking has been great. See, look at that. That's a classic LaSalle play that we've seen from Abby, from Jack Alarga back in the day. You know, they don't complicate with so many combination plays, but they just execute it perfectly. Or at least almost perfect.
Right. I think it's a matter of, you know, they just know where to put the ball. They know where to bring the ball. They've probably, you know, learned about the defensive patterns of Adamson. And Adamson is actually one of the best defensive teams that we have here in UAAP. Actually, looking back through history, Adamson is one of the strongest
floor defense,
right?
During the Mami Dulce Pante days, Pineda is sent back by the double block. But Cheng is there. Demesilio. That's another thing about LaSalle, as Abby Marano just gets the point there. That's another thing about LaSalle. Sometimes you feel like there are 7 players on the floor. And if you're going to nitpick the game of LaSalle, and you look at the numbers and the categories, Ivy, so they're in 6 categories. They're number 1 in 2 of them.
Right.
In the rest, they're number 2. Only in the digging department, I think that they're number 7.
That's right.
Which is so surprising, because they're excellent diggers too. But as a team, kasi hindi na bumabalik ang bola sa kanila madalas.
Kaya siguro number 7 na lang sila. Well, you have a point there, Boom. Yeah, you have a point there. But you know, LaSalle really is there on top of their ranks in terms of the skills department. Right. So more or less, it says on how consistent they are in each of these skills. And when you look at LaSalle, one of the things also that maybe if you really know or if you're really familiar with the game, you understand the game, is they play it very relaxed. You know, you don't see them really running around, having so much extra movement inside the court.
Yeah.
That's one thing if you really notice that about LaSalle. It seems like they're very careful about each execution that they have.
Very controlled.
Yes.
Ang kanilang laro. It's a great point. Again, you know, you go back to the digging, which they are, as I mentioned earlier, number 7 in terms of digging. You also have to consider they're second best in terms of service points, service aces. So, yun yung sinasabi ko.
Hindi na talaga bumabalik yung bola.
They're number 1 in blocks, and then they're number 2 in service aces. So, or in serving generally.
Yes.
So that means the ball doesn't go back to them as much as the other team. So that's why
correct.
they're number 7 in digging. It's not because they're not good. It's because they don't get the chance as much as the other teams. So to be number 7 is misleading for LaSalle as they are dominating their first set 16-5. Let's listen in. Let's check out the second round schedule of DLSU. Of course, they beat all of these teams in the first round, and they're looking to do it again here in the second.
It will be interesting to note also how the games will turn out here in second round, because I'm sure all these teams have prepared very well for LaSalle as well.
Right.
And maybe, I mean, there's a high probability that all of the teams, the goal is to get a set from LaSalle.
Yun muna.
Yun muna. One step at a time.
Yes, yes. And of course, a lot of the fans have marked their calendars on Feb 15 because the matchup against National University, which was, well, the reason for it, the anticipation, the hype, and the height. And then National U, the second best team in the league in terms of team standing. As you look at this Owishi-Owa moment of the game, open up to everyday surprises by Sheila Pineda. But that first set was a major letdown for National University fans. The first set, I believe, was 25-8 for LaSalle. And LaSalle came in laser-like in terms of their focus, as usual.
So I'm sure everybody really wondered what went wrong, what happened.
For NU,
yeah,
no?
for NU. Why? It wasn't really very expected.
Yeah. I think it was a psychological thing. I really think, I watched the game on TV, I really think LaSalle from the onset got into the heads of the National University team.
So actually, volleyball is not only just a skilled game, but it also psychological, there's a psychological aspect to it as well.
Especially pagka nagkakadigdigan na.
Right.
You know that very well, Ivy, that sometimes it's not the skills anymore, but your will.
That makes it into the line.
Corner.
Very deceiving.
17 serving 6. Mayet. Checked by Mika Reyes.
Free ball given by Adamson.
It is Galang. As I mentioned, had 16 points in that first outing, leading 3 players with double figures, including Mika Reyes and Abby Maraño.
Fajardo thinks it over.
Ooh, free ball given. And it is Galang asking for it. Single block there, and it still catches the line. The long rallies are favoring the defending champions here.
And with a little help from the net, sometimes there are instances na pagka ganun, dapat hindi mo basta-basta pababayaan eh.
Right.
And like that last one, it earned a point for the Lady Spikers. A poor reception from the Lady Falcons. Well, that goes outside.
Good judgment by Maraño.
3-point.
Letting it fly out. And Coach Sherwin looks at the scoreboard. It says 6 for his team, 19 for DLSU.
Diyos ko, wait lang ka na lang ba? Kita nyo, nagkakadepensahan yung opensa. Paluin nyo ng maganda. Maganda naman yung set inadyasan na nga eh. Tapos ihuhulog mo lang. Paano mga kapatid ihulog? Ni approach, wala man lang approach na maganda, tsaka mo yung hulog. Eh wala, nakahulog ka agad eh. Paglaro kayo, ay nagkakabalikan, no? Tapos mag-error lang tayo, wala din.
The frustration in the voice of Coach Sherwin there.
Well, why not? Because it's actually the errors of Adamson that has been causing them this set. You know, again, LaSalle not really doing a lot of damage, but more of the errors coming in their way.
That's right. And now Zapanta will move out for Galanza for Adamson University. As Sid Demacilio will serve for LaSalle at 19-6, and they find the spot open.
And that's Faye Guevara.
Now Makatuno, Kapampangang setter ng Adamson University. On deck, 7 serving 19. Nice serve. Makatuno back to their captain, Listana. Galang. Sorry, I was talking about Cortel rather.
Galang.
Len Cortel. Who had a good game against FEU again in a defeat.
Serving.
20 serving 7. Makatuno. Galanza checked again.
Fajardo goes to Galang.
Off
speed.
And still, that is how unfortunate it is. We've been again kind of free ball.
Right.
That goes out. Point
That's right.
off.
So far, not a very steady game here for Adamson.
Serving for
And
LaSalle.
I think it's just LaSalle really stamping their class right now. 21-7. Nagbibilang pa si Coach Noel dito sa gilid natin kasamang Ivy. Habang nagbablock itong LaSalle.
That's Mika Reyes. Another point for the Lady Spikers. We're now 22-7.
They're looking to make short work of the Adamson University Lady Falcons. Remember, the least number of points that Adamson scored in that first outing, Ivy, was 14. It was 14, then 22, and then 19, as you pointed out.
Lady Spikers.
Ngayon, 7 lamang. Well, you talked about UE getting better in the second round. Obviously, if you're Coach Ramil, you're not happy with the first round. You have to get better also. Right?
That's right. And Coach Ramil always looking for something to improve within the team.
Oh, I mean, if you're the 8th team in the league and you're improving with every game, what more the number 1 team? The training, that's really, if people could watch the training of LaSalle, that would be a sight, I'm sure, because
it is actually.
Right?
Yes.
You would know.
One thing I would tell you, it's not easy.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
Which Abby always says, para pagdating sa laro, mas madali yung laro kesa sa training.
And you know, they always say, no pain, no gain. You know, kailangan mo talagang paghirapan lahat. Nobody becomes a good player overnight. You really have to sweat it out, really have to work hard for it.
I said this at the start of the season. LaSalle, after winning the championship last year against Ateneo, only rested for 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
And then went back to training.
Went back to training right away. Of course, it's not yet heavy training. As you know, it peaks going into the season.
Right.
But the point is, they do not rest on their laurels. 3 weeks, you eat whatever you want.
And after that, that's it.
When you come back to training, back to business.
Right.
But 3 weeks, imagine, not even a month, Ivy.
That's really short. And to think that LaSalle goes also with a trisem, they don't have a really full summer break as well.
Right.
So imagine how little these girls enjoy.
And just like that, they limit Adamson to only 9 points. We all know Adamson is a better team than that, but LaSalle firing on all cylinders right now. Dominant first set, 25-9 for the defending champions. You're watching us on ABS-CBN Sports and Action. Boom Gonzalez, Ivy Remulla, and relatively easy first set for the defending champions, looking for their 9th straight win and 25th since last year. 25-9 start here, and Adamson University just could not get themselves going.
There was a lot of errors there for the Lady Falcons. They actually struggled here in the entire first set. And coming to the first technical timeout, they only had 1 point then and managed to score only additional 4 more into the second technical timeout. So it was really, there's really something, Adamson is having difficulty here in this match. And we've also seen how the errors have plagued the Lady Falcons, which made it a bit more difficult for them to score in set number 1.
There's a little pressure on the Lady Falcons to win today because of that FEU win earlier against UE. They go up to 5-4. Ayaw nila syempre maiwanan. Kailangan nilang makausad dito, lalo na pag nag-sweep. Para dun sa mga hindi nakakalam, pag nag-sweep po ang Lasal, magiging step ladder po ang format. And we will explain to you how that works in a bit. But first, let's look at the numbers.
And here once again, the Lady Spikers dominating the Lady Falcons in terms of attacks. The Lady Spikers had a lot of opportunity because una sa lahat, maganda rin ang naging reception, and they also managed to minimize the errors. The Lady Falcons had 8 unforced errors just into that first set. And they still have to work on, of course, their defense at the net. Also, probably alam mo yung service kasi nagagamit din yan eh. You can also use that as a form of offense.
Yes.
It earns your points as well. So if you're having a hard time, getting in the spikes at front of the net, you can use your services. The service aces really do a lot.
Right.
Plus the fact na nakakasira din ng laro eh. If you keep on targeting a particular player and then hindi niya ma-receive ng maayos, that's also one of the strategies.
Adamson is right behind LaSalle in terms of team serving. They are 3rd best. Ateneo in the lead. LaSalle number 2.
Serving number 18.
And Adamson number 3. So yeah, that would be yung tinatawag nating cheap points. If they could get more cheap points. Through the block. Probably mistimed.
It was actually a mistimed, right?
So napaganda. Pineda and Villanueva, 2 girls we talked about in the pregame, could not get themselves going.
Serving Jennifer
The opening set.
And this is where, like you've mentioned earlier, that other players would need to step up.
Right.
Because we cannot just have one player putting in the score, 2 players putting in the scores for the team.
(1-0) for DLSU. Fajardo serving. Again.
Combination play again.
Pero combination that didn't look in sync right there. This one a better play. Better play. For Adamson University there. The running attack by Faye Guevara. Something that actually looked like it surprised DLSU, that play. And it's not easy to surprise DLSU right now.
So whatever Adamson is doing now, you just keep on doing that. That was a good save.
Quick attack, Mika Reyes.
2 off. Look at that. Perfect set. And the angle also. Look at the wrist. You see in the replay the wrist.
That's good read also from Mika Reyes, seeing that, the taller blocker is right in front of her, so you really have to choose your angle.
Villanueva twisting around. Cheng with a reaction. Sends it over. Makatuno goes to Pat. Maranyo with her reaction. Desiree Cheng. Tempiatura. Underhand set to Mayep. Sent back again by both Cheng and Maranyo. Offensive block. You look at the net. I'm sorry, as we're looking at this Betadine block of the set, Betadine 7.5% feminine wash for red days. It's better to be protected. Look at the net, and you look at Villanueva and Pat and Makatuno there in front of Galang, Maranyo, and Cheng, and they look so short.
4 hits.
Adamson is not really a very tall team, We know that.
Right.
history also, Boom, Adamson, not really there
Always,
in the
yeah.
list of teams with the tallest players.
Pao Soriano na nga yung pinakamatangkad yata
right.
nila in recent
And now,
years.
Maylin Paat,
And
you know.
Paat.
But LaSalle has always been there in that list of tall teams.
Yes. As we go to Mitch Del Carmen from Adamson University.
Boom and Ivy, the challenge is now given to the setter and especially their spikers. Coach Sherwin highlights the importance of distributing their sets evenly. He said that the only way for them to penetrate DLSU's block is to set their combination plays while their spikers always be ready for a hit. Tumalon kayo ng mataas at magbasa kayo. Hindi ko kailangan ng malakas na palo. Kailangan ko mautak at mabilis na spikes. Now, I heard you guys mention earlier about Adamson being the #1 defensive team in the league. This prime factor is actually what Coach Sherwin feels the girls are lacking for today. Sabi niya, bakit ayaw niyong gumalaw sa depensa? Laruin niyo ang game na ito. Boom and Ivy?
Right, Mitch, that was Ivy saying that historically Adamson has always been a great floor defensive team.
Serving, Aragada.
It's actually quite missing now, you know, that
Yes.
the presence that they have in terms of floor defense. We're not seeing much of that in this game.
I think when you go back to history, at least we're talking about recent history.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the last 5, 6, 7 years. Adamson
Serving for
and
Adamson,
FU were
number 6,
like
Amanda
the
Villanueva.
floor defensive specialists.
Right.
And then you have LaSalle as a great blocking team. UST also used to be very tall. But mistiming it. Giving a free point to LaSalle as we check in with Ina Ongshako.
Boom and Ivy, in the first set, you guys said what a sight it would be if you guys could just watch the training ng mga Lady Spikers. So let me give you a sneak peek. They train almost every day from about 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And from the very beginning, kahit warm-up at stretching pa lang, Coach Camille De Jesus wants them to push themselves already. Sabi ni Coach Camille, iba talaga yung training nila kasi well-rounded yung program nila. May gymnastics for flexibility at may basketball at kung ano-ano pa. In fact, I even witnessed this last week as they practiced setting and spiking with basketballs. And like you guys said earlier, they push themselves so hard during practices so that they can be ready for whatever happens during games. Boom and Ivy?
Cross-training.
Yes.
Nakita ko yung mga picture ni Ina na nakikisali sa training.
Cross-training. Actually, brings back memories, Boom.
Oo nga, kaya nga. As you would know again,
Yeah, and
firsthand.
that familiar basketball being used as a volleyball.
To train your setting skills. And for those who might not understand, Ivy, can you explain what is the logic behind that?
It actually, you know, makes once you hold your volleyball, it makes it very light already. So the control as well, kumbaga din sa you're developing your abs. Ganun din yun. So it's more of really control.
Yeah. Because it's more of a weighted ball
it is.
than it is a volleyball. So imagine what you can do with a volleyball if you've mastered setting with a basketball.
That's right. We've actually used the basketball before to spike as well.
Spike,
Yes.
just to, again, develop strength and that wrist action. 6 serving 7. A sneak peek because I don't think Ina is allowed to tell us everything about what goes on in training in LaSalle. Makatuna, a rare judgment error. She's usually good with these things, but she misjudged that one. So 8-6, LaSalle ahead, second set. Oh, look at that. A very young LaSalle fan here. Mahihiya pa?
Mahihiya pa siya. No? But, you know, fans are really getting younger and younger. Very young fan base here for LaSalle.
You're looking at maybe for future superstars. You know, we have some great young talent in the women's division, even in the men's division. I mean, you saw yesterday in the game of the week, Ateneo versus National U in the men's division. Espejo from Ateneo, 16 years old, already making a name for himself here in the men's volleyball competition, which you can also watch here at ABS-CBN Sports in Action for our game of the week.
Good reception there from Amanda. And Pineda.
Again, Fajardo has done it consistently. And you touched on LaSalle's ability to play controlled I think Fajardo personifies that more than anybody else. I think I always joke around, and this is a compliment when I say this. When she plays, she looks like she's not even exerting effort. And I say that as a compliment, meaning she makes it look so easy.
Right. Actually, that is one of the characteristics of a really good player, you know. Because one thing about it also, probably maybe we could use her as an example already since you pointed it out. No, her position also is very key.
Okay.
She's a setter.
Right.
And as we all know, the setter basically drives the team. So if you have a setter who's really very controlled, just like you said, it's not as if she's exerting any effort at all, then you can really, it just follows then that the rest of the team is basically having an easier time doing whatever they need to do.
You know, though, there are some setters who are very, like, you know, active and hyper. Kim, sometimes you see, like, she looks like
movements,
she looks like she's dragging her feet even. But that's not the case. You know, she's just. It's just a gift. It's just a gift.
I guess, you know, one thing about her also is maybe because she knows how to read as well. She knows how to anticipate. So it requires less movements on her part.
May blocking ability pa. There again, the perfect setup job for Mika Reyes. She is the one talking about Kim who makes girls like Mika and Ara and Desiree look very good. Look at this perfect set on an Owishi-Owa moment of the game. Open up to everyday surprises.
I do have to agree with you, Boom, because you know, also being a part of one of the characteristics as well of being a good setter is that you can also confuse the blockers of the opponent.
Right.
And I think in that last play, that was exactly what Kim was able to do.
Kanina, meron pa nga siya mga second ball na drop ball. So, again, the element of surprise also something Kim Fajardo uses very well against the opponents. A rare receiving error there by Demesilio. So Adamson doing better here in the second set. Kanina 9 points po lamang ang naitala ng Adamson. Ngayon po, lamang pa sila sa DLSU. 11 serving 10.
It is a good second set for Adamson, but not if Kim Fajardo is at the front.
They're going to give that. Yeah, they're going to give that to Adamson.
You know, I think Adamson should always, you know, take note, especially if Kim Fajardo is at the front line. He should consider her as one of the attackers already. But I think at that point it was given a violation, overreaching violation for Kim Fajardo. Good and better controlled game here for the Lady Falcons.
Makaturo got to it, but they just couldn't keep it up. Point goes to LaSalle, and we are at 12-11. Fajardo with a good serve.
It is a good reception as well for the Lady Falcons.
Great dig by Sheila Pineda. Another good dig by Bang. Guevara too low.
Into the net.
Yep.
Guevara hits it into the net. Point LaSalle.
So tied here at 12-all. One set
with 5 points
going to LaSalle, the
Kim
first one. Fajardo continues to serve.
Another good reception there from the Lady Falcons.
Pineda has been solid receiving the ball. But you notice we haven't mentioned Pineda from an attacking standpoint that much. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Again, the setup, the waitress. The setup job by Kim Fajardo. Look at the height, look at the quickness, look at our Gatorade fueled spike of the game. Gatorade win from within. Nagkakaamuyan ng husto itong si Mika at si Kim.
And I think that's also very important. That sometimes you don't even have to call out the name and you know that the spike will be going in.
14-12. Let's eavesdrop.
Kinulik na natin yung blocking na yan eh. Ilang beses na pumunta yung ball, tumapon. Bakit nakatapon nun? Hindi naka-establish yung kamay, hindi naka-establish yung position. Kahit anong laki natin, hindi natin maaabot yan kung wala tayo sa pwesto. Naintindihan?
Yes, coach.
Sige.
Girls, tara. Mas gusto natin manalo. Tapuhin natin. Okay.
It's also rare that we get to eavesdrop Coach Ramil.
And it's not as if their blocking is not perfect yet. So for Coach Ramil, you know, he can still see some things that needs to be improved in the blocking here for the Lady Spikers.
Serving Kim Fajardo.
Underhand set to Villanueva.
Oh, that goes outside.
Villanueva hits it long. Point LaSalle.
Trying to do too much. And that, kasi naiilang ka sa blocking talaga. You make that adjustment.
Serving Kim Fajardo.
Kim Fajardo once again. Guevara.
LaSalle keeps it up. Zapanta taking it. Villanueva on the other side. Taken easily by Fajardo. Galang again.
Oh, down the line hit there.
Puts it away.
Second technical.
16-12, we will be back after these. Mitsubishi Mirage G4 Great Play greets us back here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Mitsubishi Mirage G4, expect more from the small sedan. Ara Galang. Just a couple of years ago, she looked very, very young from the Angeles University Foundation. So much promise. Now, already a veteran and a champion and finals MVP.
Still serving Kim Fajardo.
Her team is in the lead by 4. Fajardo back to Mika. Villanueva twisting. Fajardo back set to Desiree Cheng.
It's off the block.
$17-12 is our score, and Fajardo has been serving for quite a while now.
Serving with 3 attack points and 3 services.
Remember, they were
Kim
behind
Fajardo.
11-10 kanina.
Right. And then LaSalle just quickly took over.
That catches the line. Finally,
Guevara hits the
point
line.
for Adamson to break that rally of DLSU.
Serving
Guevara
Lady
will
Falcons.
do the honors
Guevara.
serving.
Good serve.
Yep. Adamson still not able to take advantage.
Ball is still alive. It is a free ball from Adamson. But that is a violation called up against Kim Fajardo. Very rare.
Called on Fajardo.
14 serving 17 here. Set number 2, LaSalle
Serving for the Lady
easily
Falcons.
pocketing
Number
set
9,
number 1,
Guevara.
25-9. For those who just tuned in,
That goes out.
ABS-CBN
3
Sports
points
in
LaSalle.
Action. Yun ang hindi mo pwedeng ibigay rin.
Right, so at this point, you know, Adamson really needs to be mindful of their errors. It's just, actually LaSalle is just 4 points away. So it's going to be very easy for the Lady Falcons as long as they don't commit any errors.
Paat.
I think that was too low for Paat.
That's out. Nobody touched it.
Galang hits it wide. Point Adamson.
Galang misjudging that. She loves that cross court. Very effective, but she also has a great down-the-line attack. She was the leading scorer in the first matchup with
Into the
16
net.
points as Maranhão
Point Adamson.
nets that one. So Adamson back in it. 16 serving 18.
Mayet Zapanta at the service line.
Serving with 2 points in the match. Mayet Zapanta.
Service good.
Cheng asking for it, but Maranhão gets it. Underhand again. Sheila Pineda through the block.
Sheila
Did not
Pineda.
put too much power into it. She just placed it perfectly in between the players. So listen, look at that. Nakita niya yung puwang. Listen to Lasal.
Wag natin hayaan na magkakumpiyansa yung kalaban nyo. Receive tayo, nilalakas na yung serve ng kalaban nyo eh. Okay? So ganun lang, hanap ka ng mataas na percentage, nagkamali yung kasama mo, tingnan mo ulit makakabawi. Okay? So sige, go!
Kapit tayo ha! Kapit tayo! Hey!
18-17 is the score. They'll challenge now from Adamson University. Better fight for them. Actually led in this set. Sherwin hoping to try to get his team going here. They're serving 17.
Serving for Adamson, number 5, Mayet Zapanta.
FU winning earlier today against a Game UE squad who took the first set. 25-20 in the meantime. 2-point lead again for LaSalle.
Aragalang serving for LaSalle.
Aragala.
Amanda.
Good reception there. So LaSalle just 3 points away. Again, Adamson can still catch up.
Serving Aragala.
Better reception this time.
Back
We go
set.
to Amanda.
Yep, yes. And there wasn't a blocker there ready for Amanda Villanueva.
Good play from the Lady Falcons. It's a good setup job. Amanda Villanueva flying.
Amanda Villanueva.
18 serving 20.
Good serve.
Abby asking for it. That's why she was asking for it.
It's almost as if she knew that would be a point.
Perfect set for her. Right in the middle.
But a bit off timing there.
The push from Fajardo still.
Smart move.
That was still successful.
Yeah. She just really wanted to go in the back zone. The lead is 4 now. Let's listen to Adamson this time.
Adamson 18, LaSalle 22.
Makapatayan pa tayo. Hindi naman ganyan yung ginagalaw nyo. Kamay, gamitin mo overhead. Kamay mo yung bola. O, 4 lang yan ha. Backwick mo lang to pag may receive stress si Bebang. Pag wala, kalas na agad. Kaya pa yan. Dalaw na maayos o.
Tara.
Isipin nyo lang yung receive, mapupunta sa setter. Hindi naman kinakarga na yung service eh. Ha? Gusto mo naman yung follow mo dyan?
And even the reception, as Coach Sherwood said, is that Ivy some sort of an intimidation factor also from LaSalle? Why Adamson, which is a good digging team, they have good diggers, but they seem to not be receiving well today.
It could be, you know, it could be a factor. You know, LaSalle basically can be a very intimidating team, and if you can really see how controlled they are with the game, it could affect basically how Adamson is really performing today. Good reception there.
Dug up by Zapanta. Pineda, the coverage.
He
was hoping for coverage there. Pineda, by the way, celebrated her birthday a few days ago. January 21, I believe. She went up there, and of course, if you're an attacker, you always hope, especially against the LaSalle team, that your coverage is on point.
Actually, coverage is really very important if you know you're going up against a strong blocking team.
Tries again.
Pineda once again.
Oh!
This time sends it. I think she was trying to go for a check there.
Yeah, they're going to give it. They're going to give it.
There was a touch. There's the referee. Point Adamson.
Listana will come in. Let's look at that. This is a good angle. Because
it's pretty hard to tell.
That's tough. And we have the benefit of the slow-mo. Our first referee doesn't have that benefit.
Yes.
Abby asking for it. Man,
Quick attack, Abby
And
Marano.
Makatuno just raised her arms there.
That was a good play there from Kim and Abby.
Look at Makatuno. She just tried to keep her arms up. Hopefully the ball would bounce back. So set point here, grazing the net. Pineda, easy take for LaSalle. Reyes will put it away. And a second set win for the defending champions. A little hiccup at the early part of the set. Nevertheless, they take care of business here, as LaSalle has not yet dropped the set this year and are looking to win 9 straight. We might see some more players in that third set. Yun yung sinasabing in-announce ako, no?
Yes.
So we might see more players here depending on Coach Ramil. We'll be back with set number 3. We're back with you here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action, and the 2 sets so far going to LaSalle. Big improvement for Adamson University in that second set. Even led in the game, but towards the end, di sila makakapit sa defending champions.
Right, and this time around, the Lady Falcons managed to control their errors as compared to set number 1. But, you know, I think that is one thing, again, you know, for the Lady Spikers, having a more controlled game, and they really can minimize the errors that they commit in each set.
Better production, though, for them. They just need to step it up, talking about Adamson University, if they plan to make a dent on the armor of LaSalle here, who are, as we said, looking for win number 9 in season 76 of the UAAP, and are also looking to maybe have a perfect elimination record. I mean, it cannot... if you sweep, that's already perfect, but the only way to top that is to not drop a set. So far, they have looked good, and in that second set,
and they have actually done that in a
Adamson,
very convincing manner here as we look at set number 2 statistics. Again, LaSalle has been dominating in all of these areas, attacking, blocking, and the service aces. A very controlled game for them. Although this time around, and I think this is one of the factors as well which gave, you know, Adamson a little breathing room in set number 2, was they had more errors as compared to Adamson. But good job to Adamson for being able to control the errors here in set number 2.
and attack more. Obviously,
Yes,
they had
that's
10,
right.
but just not enough yet.
LaSalle leads the match with 2 sets.
I think more of, you know, for the Lady Falcons, they're trying to get into the game, you know, trying to get the correct movement, but you really can't wait until set number 3 to do that.
Yep, exactly. Live ball, free ball. Galang.
Galang once again, this time off the block. They give it to Zapanta.
Zapanta.
Off the block from Reyes.
Yes, angling it right. Because you cannot go one-on-one against Reyes without having to work with angles. Hindi pwedeng straight lang. Wishy-oh-wow moment of the game. Open up to everyday surprises.
Reyes. Oh, that was almost a good save there.
Tempiatura already, almost her full body on the other side of the court. Again, the angle. I mean, the height. Mika already has the height, then she can jump. So obviously she can get to the ball before anybody else and have the advantage of looking down and looking at where she can place that ball as Zapanta wins the joust.
Wins the joust. Point Adamson.
Let's take a look at that last joust once again. Here he goes, Zapanta going up against Galang.
Cheng.
Drop shot.
Pat was there. Cortel. Zapanta puts a little force, but it's sent back. She tries again, and it's sent back, but this time...
It goes outside, so the point is awarded to the Lady Falcons. Look, don't look now, but they are the lead, 3-1. Good start so far here in set number 3 for Adamson. Again, it is a question, Boom, of how far can they sustain this, but I guess not with that service error.
Speaking of, that's something that kills your own momentum. You're trying to build your own momentum, but that's a killer. Service error.
Serving Mika Reyes.
Good reception there.
Nice set. That's a perfect set by Makatuno to Cortel. Look at that. And of course, the left-handed attacker, they have two actually with Cortel and Paz there, the front line of Adamson University. Combination play, Tempiatura able to dig it up. Maraño looking to finish this point right away. What a fighter, this girl. Suzuki drive for the win. Play of the game, Suzuki Swift Desire. All your desires make contact from Suzuki way of life.
Pineda, drop shot. Free ball now given to Adamson.
Inabot pa ni Abby, no? Cheng. Fajardo chooses. Cheng, sorry, that's Cruz who dug up the ball, and Cheng attacking.
Now free ball for LaSalle. Let's see what they do with this one. Demesilio.
Tempiatura was there. Pineda through the block. Just enough force. Let's check in with Mitch Del Carmen.
Kung tayo hirap na hirap makakuha ng puntos, wag natin silang bigyan ng napakadaling points. Boom and Ivy, gusto nga ni Coach Sherwin na gawan nila ng paraan ang bawat opportunity na binibigay sa kanila ng Lady Spikers. Now in the huddle earlier, team leader Bang Pineda continues to have her hopes up. She's trying to make it simple for the team as she tells them na basta wag tayo magpapabaya. Lastly, for the set, Coach Sherwin urges them to be more focused and to not finish this game without giving DLSU a good fight. Boom and Ivy.
Good fight and maybe taking a set off. But you know, you see the difference now. The aim of teams sometimes medyo bumababa. Let's give them a good fight.
Right. So not anymore, let's win this game. Oh, right.
Let's give them a good fight first and maybe work from there.
Yes.
Ganun ang nangyayari ngayon. Ano? Inang Shaco will join us from LaSalle.
Boom and Ivy, coming into the third set, Coach Ramil De Jesus made two important points to the Lady Spikers. Unang-una, sabi niya, huwag niyong sabayan yung kilos ng kalaban niyo. Kung ayaw nilang kumilos, bahala na sila doon. Basta kayo, kailangan yung kumilos. Captain Abby Maraño quickly responded to this and turned to her teammates by saying, kumilos tayo guys, mas gusto natin ang manalo. Second, he asked the girls to be more aware of what's going on in the court. Sabi niya, huwag nating hayaan na sobrang confident tayo na sa palo, patay agad. Dapat inaasahan nyo na babalik yung bola. Dapat ready kayo palagi. Alamin nyo kung saan kayo makakadaan ng puntos. Hindi puro power o palakasan. Pwede rin pabilisan. Boom and Ivy.
Thank you very much. And they have the players to do that. Thank you, Ina. Adamson with a 3-point lead. And that's strong for Pineda. It's down to 2. Somebody asking, what is the record of Coach Ramil if he wins today? I believe it is 199-49. That's his overall record.
Overall,
16
ever
years.
since 16 years. Oh my, tagal na ni Coach Ramil.
Because he's now at... Hindi yun yung point natin, pero sige. Oh, nice pancake dive or pancake save by Maraño. Keeping this alive. Pineda, and it's still alive. Because right now he is at 198-49 after the win against Ateneo. What a record, huh? As you look at this, held by the net. And look at that.
Good save from Maraño.
And she was stalking while she was saving the ball.
That was a very excellent save from the captain.
That's still good. And it goes to LaSalle here. Demesilio. Cortel. Guevara, single block by Sid, and she is still able to get the point. 7-all. Betadine, block of the set. Betadine, 7.5% feminine wash. For red days, it's better to be protected.
Abigail Maraño.
She was really targeting the front line with that. And it's always tricky when she does that. So she gives Adamson for the first time. They go into the technical timeout with a lead. We're back with you here at the Mall of Asia Arena earlier today. As we mentioned, FU winning against the UE Lady Warriors. Edwin Reyes from the DLSU side. Looking at the scoreboard, it is at 8-7. Abante ang Adamson University.
That goes out.
Oh, but that serve goes outside.
So again, you know, just as you get a little bit of edge.
But that can be a bit frustrating also because, you know, you just get it out of a service error. Basically, you're supposed to be very much in control of it. You know, you're the only one there. You're standing. And that was off the block.
Bayet Zapanta.
Again, better challenger for Adamson. Can they keep it going till the end of the set? May Makatuno.
Serving Jennifer Makatuno.
Fajardo underhands it. Mayet.
And that hits the antenna, right? So that's called outside. The point goes to LaSalle.
And that would have been a good opportunity for her because Kim Fajardo was scrambling back to help out on the blocking. So naiwan si Mika dun mag-isa. Again, for those watching, when you hit the antenna, that's an automatic infraction. 4 touches. So LaSalle takes over the lead here.
And that's a series of errors here of Adamson.
Serving for LaSalle, Kim Fajardo.
So that's a 3-1 run right now.
Zapanta once again is blocked.
Cortel is blocked too. Makatuno goes to the other side. Zapanta is blocked. Boy, nothing is going through.
And that free ball goes outside. And once again, another point for LaSalle. Your score is now 9-11.
And guess what? This is happening again with Kim Fajardo serving. Katulad nung run kanina, second set. Who is an excellent server. Straight to Desiree Cheng. Libero backtracking, Temperatura. Mayet put something into that. Maraño still able to keep it up. Another chance for Adamson here.
Drop shot denied by Galang.
That was too low.
I think again, you know, Guevara is a bit off with the timing there.
But Sherwin will call a timeout. The lead is up to 3 now.
Kayo na naman ang puntos. Sa atin na naman. Ay, Diyos ko. Tatlo ang spiker natin eh. So, i-deliver mo ng maganda. Sa sure na mapapalo. Eh, wala. Hindi mapalo eh. Tamo, ang bilis ng score oh. May receive naman, di ba? O, eh, si Mike, open mo doon. Mag-dress na to. Backward na to. Tara, May!
In the middle of a 5-1 run. LaSalle, we were at 8-7. Adamson ahead. Now 12-9.
And again, Adamson having a hard time to bring in the points. They have been committing a series of errors once again. They managed to control that in set number 2, but again, they're having difficulty here in set number 3.
And the reception has been faulty also. Galang. Makatuno back to Cortel. And Basilio taking it. Galang again. Back to that familiar down the line hit.
Drop shot.
And the net interference, I think.
The point goes to LaSalle. It is a net violation error.
Mayet couldn't control her momentum.
That error number 10.
It's unfortunate, as you see the momentum pushing, the push, and her forearm that touches the net. Mayet will try again. Picked up. Campiatura was there.
Was a good
Cortel
save.
through the block.
Maraño once again, good coverage.
Oh, the net saving that one. Maraño pops it right back. Kalang fakes everybody, but it's still playable. Maraño again.
Maraño doing a very good job at the floor.
Long rally here in the third set. Zapanta sent back. No, they're going to call.
Long rally won by
Call
LaSalle.
that, a net block for 4 touches for Adamson. So the long rallies again favoring DLSU.
And really do have to give credit to Abby Maraño for that rally.
We talked about how she has been such an all-around player for LaSalle. You talked about her blocking. She's a great server, and now she's showing everybody her ability to dig and save balls. A great pancake save also earlier.
There was a touch.
As a
Point
touch
Adamson.
is called on LaSalle, so a point for Adamson to finally stop the bleeding, Ivy. It's 14-10. Remember, we were at 8-7. Abante and Adamson.
Number 9, Faye Guevara.
7-2 run for LaSalle. Gala.
Galang. That was too strong for Makatuno.
Gatorade fueled spike of the game. Gatorade with from within. Back set. Galang always ready to swing. Saved by Cortel there. Up to Ara. Pineda. Try again. LaSalle goes to Cheng. Cross court. Makatuno was there.
No
Galanza.
coverage there.
Yeah.
The referee calls for an outside.
Ah.
After it touched the blocker's hand, it touched the antenna.
So Galanza gets the point, and then she will go to serve. Let's look at that again.
There you
Ah.
go. So it touched the hand of, after it touched the hand of Cheng,
Hits the antenna.
hits the antenna.
Ooh, donut
one
hole.
there.
Hit by Desiree Chen.
They got lucky, and they up their lead to 5, 16-11. Back in a moment. Here at the Mall of Asia Arena, and look at this off-speed attack by Desiree Cheng. Finds the middle of that donut hole. Mitsubishi Mirage G4, great play. Mitsubishi Mirage G4, expect more from the small sedan. The rookie, the former Palarong Pambansa MVP. Replacing technically in terms of the starting lineup of Michelle Gumapaw there.
Big shoes to fill,
Oh yeah,
of course.
especially for a rookie, because
Right.
we know, as you know very well, Ivy, it's not easy for a rookie to all of a sudden play a major part right away in Coach Ramil's system. He must see something really special in you.
Yes, for him to field you in.
Right away, no? Other than that, most of you will have to really work your way into
That's
that
right.
lineup.
Currently with 10 points in the match.
That was also very special as a rookie, as you know.
11 points.
Galanza could not get to that. Aragalan has always been one of the better servers in the league. Number 8 this year so far.
It's another good serve. The drop shot from Pineda. And that point goes to Adamson.
Muscling it over Desiree Cheng. Moving out. Now, Makatuno will move out for Emnas. That's Fenella Emnas.
Serving team captain Marlene Cortel.
Len Cortel. Maraño. Again, that hole.
Abigail Maraño.
It's no accident too. They target it,
Yes.
obviously, because they see it.
But still Adamson not able you know, to come up with a game plan for that spot in the middle.
Serving, Desiree Cheng.
Cheng serving.
Service good. Good reception there from Adamson. Pineda hammering that in.
Blocked by Abigail
Blocked
Marano.
by Kim Fajardo.
Piatura couldn't get there for coverage. Dangerous time here for Adamson if they want to extend this match. They're down 8.
Jelly, tara. Cover, easy lang gagawin.
Tulog ka dyan eh. Play mo tayo, back mo to, i-trust mo si Bang. May receive naman eh, kaya ilituin mo konti yung block. Hindi iseset ka agad sa ano, ha? Okay, nakakumpiyansa ka na, back tsaka tres ha. O pag walang receive, open lang. Tara, magdala na kayo.
Tara, isa muna, Alonson!
We're going to put out all the stops now, Ivy, as LaSalle is 5 points away from going for win number 9. And again, not dropping any set so far this year. And surprising though, Coach Ramil has not fielded anybody else. Right? We thought we were going to see at least one or two, like Kim D. But sometimes you see him at 23.
Actually, I've seen Coach Ramil already hand out one of the numbers.
He did.
Yes.
I guess it will depend on how the next 2 points will go. Now, Don Macandili, I think, will get some court time. The Bell product, a great libero for LaSalle. And she replaces Cruz, and Desiree Cheng will continue to serve here. 21, serving 12. Go back to back.
Pineda off speed. That goes over.
Maranyo reading that very well, reading the intention of Pineda. See, that's what I'm talking about. Rinigalo na lang ni Gala. She pushed it to the other side for a free ball, and Adamson still cannot take advantage as Nika Esperanza will move out. She will set for LaSalle, and so will Cerveza. So, not set, but so Cerveza will come in also. Replace Desiree Cheng. So that's what we were talking about.
So a lot of substitutions now for Coach Ramil. You know, this is actually a very short moment for these players, but very big opportunity
for them to close out.
Right.
Macandili was there, just couldn't get to it. Point to Adamson. Mika, no stranger. She actually scored 2 points in a quick time against Ateneo. Nung pinasok siya, she scored right away for LaSalle. She's no stranger, of course, to the championship team. She was the former #1 setter for LaSalle. And look at that connection, producing a point. Which gets us to 23-13. And now LaSalle will move Kim D into the lineup for Sid Demisidro. So now
so
it's D Cerveza,
substitutions, but still a very tall lineup inside the court.
Very tall. An easy point here. Service point, service ace. Kim D, of course, we're going to see more of her in the future. Now, match point, they take out Reyes. This is also an opportunity, not only for these players like Baron and D, but players to applaud Mika Reyes and the other players that have moved out. Parang a recognition from the coach, and that's it. That will do it.
Wins the match,
25-13. Another win for LaSalle and another match that they did not drop a set. And this time it is Adamson University at the losing end of this one. We'll take a break and we will be back to wrap this baby up. (25-9), (25-19), and 25-13. Straight sets victory once again for the defending champions. Their 9th straight and their 25th. All in all, going back to last season. RCBC life-changing move. RCBC Savings Banks. My loans, it's life-changing. Ivy?
Here's our play here. Kim Fajardo setting up Mika Reyes. That excellent angle really did change how the game went out for LaSalle.
And also total team effort. Mika Reyes had her moments. Kim Fajardo, excellent setting, of course. Maraño as usual, and great serving also by Fajardo. Aragalan had a couple of attacks that also very big in the context of the overall game of LaSalle against Adamson. But we can only choose one Gatorade Fuel player of the game. Gatorade win from within. Ina Ongsiako talked with her at the start of the game. She's talking to her again right now.
Now, Abby, there were times during the game na you would ask for the ball and saktong-sakto yung palo mo that would end with a point. Planado ba to or ano?
Of course, kung ano yung instruction ni coach na ganito yung timing, ganito dapat yung execution ng receive and yung pasok ng bola, ganun din yung ginawa ko. Hindi, syempre lahat ng ginagawa namin dito, pinaplano namin yan, pinag-aaralan namin yan. Hindi kami pasok dito na hindi kami handa.
Now, Abby, during the second and third set, humabol pa yung Adamson and for a time, they even led. What was going through your mind then?
Well, of course, kailangan mo ng kumpiyansa sa sarili. Confidence talaga na kahit lumalamang sila, kailangan may tiwala ka sa kayayahan ng mga kasama mo. And of course, sabi ko nga kailangan na i-control namin yung game. Hindi kami dapat yung magpa-control.
Thank you, Abby. Would you like to say hi to anyone first?
Happy birthday to Patricia Isabel Orculo and special hi to Robert T. Bolick Jr.
Wow. Now, there you have it. That was our Gatorade Fuel player of the game, Abby Maraño. Back to you, Boom and Ivy.
Thank you very much, Ina, and the captain, Abby Maraño. The words of wisdom. Perfect. She said, dapat kami ang nagko-control ng game, hindi kami nagpapakontrol ng laro.
That is actually a very good mindset. You know, if you, as a team captain, that's how you motivate, that's how you lead the team inside. And no wonder LaSalle has really been having a very good winning streak.
Again, we've said it, you have to play at their level.
Yes.
Because they don't drop to yours in terms of level of play. And right now, it is very high. And it seems that the teams have not been able to get to the level of LaSalle right now. 9 games in to season 76 of the UAAP. Okay, tomorrow we shift to the arena in San Juan as we continue our women's volleyball tournament. UST and UP will engage in the first game, and then Ateneo and NU, that's going to be very crucial also. Another game that opened the season 76 of the UAAP, and they will meet. That's a big matchup tomorrow, and we hope to see you at the arena. If not, please catch it here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action. Ivy, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you again, Tuku.
All right, today FU winning in 4 sets and LaSalle doing it in straight sets to finish off Saturday competition. For Ivy Remulla, Ina Ongsiako, Mitch Del Carmen, Direct Al Neri, and everybody behind and inside the truck, I'm Boom Gonzalez saying see you tomorrow for more of season 76 of the UAAP Women's Volleyball Tournament here on ABS-CBN Sports in Action as we continue to play hard.
This is the UAAP Season 76 Women's Volleyball Tournament. Greatness never ends. The following has been a special presentation of ABS-CBN Sports.